What's up, guys? It's Devin, and welcome back to another Doki Doki Literature Club video. We are back inside of Doki Doki Encore. This is the third episode, I believe it is now. Last episode, we ended off on a very sour note where Monika was once again in MC's head, I guess without further ado, there's more that happened last episode, but I don't remember too much. I know I think we had our first kiss with Sayori. I think that was a thing. I remember it was my thumbnail for last episode. But yeah, no, we had our first kiss with Sayori, I believe. Monika's still trying her very, very best to get her away from us, or get us away from her, and vice versa, I guess, because she wants me all to herself, as even the main game suggests. But without further ado, let's go ahead and start getting back into this. So we left off where we just woke up after that nightmare. I suddenly wake up with the sudden urge to vomit. By the way, if I for some reason pause for a few seconds every now and then, I got a canker sore right on the tip of my tongue, and it's a piece of shit. So without further, just so you guys, just a heads up, if you guys wonder why it looks like I'm in pain and agony every few seconds or whatever, then that's why. I have a canker sore, and I decided, hey, let's read a visual novel for shit's sake. I quickly prompt myself, trying to suppress it. Though as soon as I do that, I feel my head quickly start to ache. I feel my entire body covered in a coat of sweat as I move to clutch my forehead. What the hell is going on with me? Am I sick? This is the second time this has happened. After a few minutes, my head stops throbbing and I feel relatively normal again. My eyes wander to my alarm clock. Great. I don't have to be up for another hour. Well, I can try falling back asleep, but if I do, won't I just see the same thing again? Or worse? Oh yeah, that's right, because in the dream too, didn't Monika show us the noose and Sayori hanging and stuff? Isn't that a thing that happened in the dream last night? If this keeps happening, I'm probably going to need a psychiatrist. I don't feel like getting out of bed yet, so I just spend the rest of my time staring at the ceiling. Though the memories of my nightmare slowly creep back into my mind. About how I couldn't save Sayori. How I just watched her slowly choke to death. It was almost like what I saw 2 nights ago. And her corpse? I get nauseous just thinking about it. Thankfully, before I can think any longer about it, my alarm sounds off. That was the quickest hour ever. I sigh to myself as I walk over to silence my alarm and go about my daily morning routine of getting ready for school. After finishing my morning routine, I head downstairs to my kitchen with Natsuki's poem in hand. Poem? I must have read it 100 times by now, hoping that this was some kind of sick joke. I sigh and let the paper flutter onto my dining room table. I'm not particularly hungry, so I opt to just make a fruit bowl. While grabbing the bowl, I send Sayori a text to let her know that I'm up and that she doesn't need to come wake me up again. Surprisingly, she responds back rather quickly and tells me that she's already waiting outside for me. Of course she is! Why wouldn't she be? I reply back that I'll meet her as soon as I'm done with my breakfast. I hastily assemble my fruit bowl and quickly begin eating it. Though I come to the realization that I'll probably be getting everyone else's poems today. I'm still uncertain that if it's even a good idea for me to talk to Natsuki about what she gave me. What am I even supposed to say to her? And I still don't even know how to put it to Sayori. There's no telling how she'll react. Either one of them, for that matter. And if I tell anyone else, I'll feel like that'll just make the situation more complicated. And Yuri probably won't be much of a help either. Maybe I can ask Monika. Maybe she'll know how to handle this. I sigh to myself as I pop the last piece of watermelon into my mouth, put Natsuki's poem in my backpack, and head outside to meet Sayori. Sayori is already standing by the adjacent sidewalk to my house. Hey, Devin! She beams joyfully at me. Looks like you woke up on the right side of the bed today. Sayori manages a small laugh. Well, it's a Wednesday, which means it's only 2 more days until Friday. I forgot how much you love Fridays. Well, not as much as I love you. I feel my face turn red with embarrassment. Sayori! Yeah? I'm barely able to contain my grin as I figure out the best way to respond. Just come here. I take Sayori to my arms and squeeze her tightly. You little Okay. I suddenly feel a sharp pain in my forehead. Sayori immediately takes notice. Devin, what's wrong? It's nothing. The pain gets worse just as I say that. I end up having to take a step back from Sayori as I clench my forehead tighter. Just give me a second. After a few moments, the pain subsides. Are you okay, Devin? It's just a headache, don't worry about it. Was it really just a headache, though? You looked like you were in a lot of pain. Yeah, but it's gone now. No need to raise a fuss over it, right? I mean, I worry about you, Devin. I want you to be okay. Were you feeling like this yesterday? I don't want Sayori to be more worried about me, but I know that I can't hide anything from her for very long. I feel guilty about not opening up about my own hardships to Sayori when she's done so with me. But she can always get worked up when there's something wrong, like she is now. And maybe getting these weird dreams off my chest might ease my mind a little. Or make them worse. Reluctantly, I save the game, because I want to know what happens either way. I'm going to tell Sayori. I think that it's best, since she tells us her, problems, we gotta step up and do the same. Give her the same benefit of the doubt. I decided to tell her. The past 2 nights, I've had these awful nightmares. I have no idea what's causing them. Do you want to talk about it? My words get caught in the back of my throat. An overwhelming feeling of dread washes over me. This feeling. Somehow it's worse than this morning. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Devin? Hearing Sayori's voice relieves a near crippling dread. Sayori, last night, I watched you die. I couldn't do anything to save you. All I could do was watch. I know it was just a dream, but it felt too close to reality for some reason. It felt so real. The way you frantically clawed at the rope. Rope? Oh, Sayori, I forgot. Because Sayori has a rope. Someone hung you right in front of me. It was hard to watch. I felt like I actually lost you, and the night before wasn't any better. How so? I opened this door, and you were hanging right there in your bedroom. Sayori nervously swallows. Well, I don't know why you'd be having dreams like that, Devin. It's not like I would do anything like that. I would never do something like that. I fucking called it. I couldn't. I don't exactly feel reassured by the way she said that, especially since she said some rather concerning things to me lately. You're the reason I'm alive. That's fucked up. Do I really deserve this? I don't want this relationship to be a one-way street. Lately, I can't stop asking myself that question. I then think back to what that voice said. This is what ultimately should have happened. Keeping her alive is only prolonging her suffering. I know Sayori's problems are bad, but she wouldn't go that far, right? You okay, Sayori? Yeah, I'm fine. Is there something troubling you? Can we just go? Please? I'm surprised by Sayori's sudden change of heart, but nevertheless, I choose to oblige. Yeah, let's just go. It was just a stupid dream anyways, right? Yeah. We begin to walk to school without another word. Our walk to school was unbearably silent. I'm not used to being this quiet, especially around Sayori. Lately, we've been more happy than to talk about whatever was on our minds, but today is different. She hasn't even looked at me once since we started walking. Part of me regrets telling her about the last 2 nights. I knew she'd get all worked up and worried. Almost reminds me of my mother. Well, it wouldn't hurt to have someone look after me. I turn to Sayori, smiling warmly at her. However, she maintains her blank stare down the road ahead of us as we continue on our walk. I let out a small sigh. I guess she's just not in the talkative mood anymore. Well, she did sound rather disturbed by what I told her. Sayori's never been one to stomach horror very well, not that I blame her. Hopefully she'll get over this soon. As our walk continues, it hits me that I have another problem brewing. Natsuki's letter. I haven't really thought about how I'm going to handle that. As I was thinking earlier, telling Monika about the situation seems like my best course of action. Normally I'd tell Sayori, but I don't think she'd take it very well right now. I guess my only real option is to go with Monika before the club. Noah Natsuki will probably want to talk to me. I'm really not looking forward to today. I'm the one behind the screen and I'm not looking forward to it. I know, it just sounds like a pain in the ass to go through. What if someone else gives me another confession letter? Devin? Sayori takes me out of my train of thought. Yeah? You okay? You just stopped walking. Realizing that Sayori's more than a few steps ahead of me, I jogged to catch up with you. To her. Are you really sure you're okay? You've been acting strange today. I'll be fine. I've gone through worse. Maybe you should stay home from school today. I wouldn't want you to get any worse. I'll be fine. Besides, I really need to talk to Monika. Monika? Why? It's something related to what we're doing for Monday. Okay. Hey, Sayori. Yeah? Don't worry about me. If I feel worse, I'll go to the nurse's office, and you can take me home, okay? Okay. But if you feel sick, you text me right away, okay? You have my word. Emergency contact. Sayori blushes. You trust me that much, huh? Why wouldn't I? I mean, we've been looking after each other for years. It just feels like it'd be the natural thing to do, you know? Yeah, it does. I like it. I feel my own face start to heat up. Come on, Devin, we're really gonna be late. Sayori quickens her pace to the point where she's almost jogging. Oh, come on, it's only... Shoot! Hey, wait for me! I jog after Sayori. We were able to make it to school just in time for the morning bell. Though I won't be able to walk with Sayori to her class like usual, thanks to the time. So I'll see you after your class, Devin. Alright, sounds good to me. Sayori glances around the corridor to make sure we're alone. Just, please let me know if you feel worse or anything, okay? I will, Sayori, don't worry. I'm more worried about you. Me? Why? Earlier, you looked like you just saw a ghost. I just hope I didn't scare you through it with any of the details. It's not that, Devin, really. I'm just more worried about you. I'll be fine. I shoot Sayori a reassuring smile. Promise? I promise. I'll see you later. Okay. Come here. Sayori walks up to me and gives a brief hug before walking off towards her classroom. I'll see you later, Devin. Laters. Sayori walks off towards her classroom, while I head off to the opposite direction towards mine. I walk into class just in time before the teacher starts the lesson. I take my usual spot towards the back of the room and slump down in my chair, preparing for another day of relative boredom. I'd normally think about dozing off, but there's enough on my mind to keep me awake, and most importantly, looking interested in whatever the teacher's going on about. About these dreams. About what they mean, and Natsuki's letter. Not to mention I now have Sayori worried sick about me. I don't even know if I did the right thing by telling her. In any case, my most pressing concern is how to deal with Natsuki's confession letter. I think Monika and I share the same lunch period, so could probably pull her aside then. Hopefully she'll be willing to talk to me. I sigh to myself as I continue to listen to the teacher drone on. After what it feels like an eternity, the lunch bell finally rings. Grabbing the poem from my bag and stuffing it into my jacket with my lunch money, I head out to the cafeteria, hoping to find Monika. Entering the cafeteria, I immediately begin to look around for Monika. Alright, if I was Monika, where would I be? Probably towards the center with all the popular kids. I start walking to the center of the cafeteria. Sure enough, I quickly spot Monika sitting at one of the tables at the center of the cafeteria. As I expected, she seems to be chatting away with some of her friends. Pulling her away might be a little harder than I thought. Well, it's not like I'm going to get another chance to talk to her until the club, so it's now or never. Taking a deep breath, I carefully approach Monika's table. Wow, Kari, I can't believe you guys got away with that. I know, right? It was like the craziest party ever. Too bad you couldn't make it, though. Well, like I said, I was on that trip with the debate club. Oh yeah, the debate club. Club. That place has only gotten more toxic since you left. It's gotten that bad, huh? Trust me, you left at the best possible time. I missed the good old days. When Sora was president? Yeah, we were actually productive and went to all those cool events. And not always fighting with each other over petty crap. Yeah, that's when the club was in its prime. It's a real shame she transferred, though. I know, right? She was so nice. I still can't believe she suckered us into voting for her brother for president. Todd's nice, but... Todd! Fucking Todd! If you guys don't know, I have a lot of beef against Todd. Todd is like in so many mods now that I'm like, every time I see his name, I'm like, God damn it, Todd! I fucking hate Todd. Todd is like always for some reason the asshole. Oh my god. Todd's nice to me, but he's a total... Hey, Monika? Devin! I didn't know you had this lunch period. Well, I usually just sit in the back. I see. Would you like to join us? Yeah, we have plenty of room. I appreciate it, but I actually need to talk to Monika real quick. Oh, what for? It's urgent. I'd wait to tell you at the club, but say no more, Devin. I always have time for you. I feel my face heat up with slight embarrassment. Thank you, Monika. I really appreciate it. We'll be right back, girls. Have fun, you two. I lead Monika out of the cafeteria to somewhere where we might have a little more privacy. She's got him wrapped around her finger. That's Monika for you. Yeah, that's what they think. I end up leading Monika towards the school, up to the school's rooftop where there's hardly anyone around that can hear us. So, what's on your mind, Devin? I think I'll just show you. I hand over Natsuki's poem to Monika. Monika looks over it with a rather concerned look on her face. After about a minute, she finishes reading it. Well then, I guess it's safe to assume that she likes you. Yeah, no kidding. What am I supposed to do? Hasn't this ever happened to you before? No, not really. Nobody's ever been this sweet in trying to ask me out before. Usually some boy would just walk up to me and stammer his way through before trying to ask me out. A few have tried asking me out through text, but to me that's the cheap way. Things would probably be worse had she chosen to text me, or walked up to me and confessed. I'd have no idea how to handle that. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Natsuki's gonna try and talk to me later in the club about this. Well, there's really no reason to think that she'd expect you to read her poem right away, right? What do you mean? I'm saying that I don't think Natsuki was expecting you to read her poem so soon. In all honesty, she probably thinks you'll read it this weekend, when you're preparing the poems for the photo shoot. Yeah, I guess you're right. So, I just tell Natsuki that I haven't read it yet? Pretty much. At least, that's the way you're buying yourself a little bit of time. Okay, but that still doesn't really solve the problem. Sooner or later, she's gonna ask me about this, and I have no idea what I'm gonna say. Well, Devin, it all depends on how you feel about her. Do you like Natsuki back in the same way she likes you? I mean, I'm happy with Sayori. I wouldn't want to ruin what we have, and if I ever did leave her, we both know that she'd be devastated. We do mean a lot to each other. Yeah. Does Sayori know that Natsuki gave you this? No. That's another problem. She wasn't really in the mood to talk today, so I figured that'd be a bad time to bring it up. Not to mention, I have no idea how she'll take it. I don't think Sayori will overreact that way, Devin. Though she wouldn't take too kindly to this for sure. So, when should I tell her about the letter? You're probably better off waiting to tell her for now. Or, tell her for now. It's better you figure out what you want to say to Natsuki first. Alright. So, what should I say to her then? Just tell her how you feel, Devin. Natsuki wants to know what's in your heart. You need to figure out who suits you best. And when you're figuring it all out, you should ask yourself some questions. Like what? Like, who can you always count on? Who can you always trust? Who would you be the happiest with? Who will always help you? Who wants to see you succeed? Is she, trying to, get these questions in her head to try and get us to think about her? Who wants to see you succeed and is capable of helping you? Who are you proud to stand next to no matter what? Who will always put a smile on your face and build you up? Who isn't afraid to stand against the world with you? And I think you know one girl who checks all these boxes, don't you? God damn it, Monika! I know you'll make the best decision for the club, Devin. I have faith in you. I swear to God, that pose always bothers me, especially in these conversations. Monika's questions begin to echo in my head. Well, who would I be the happiest with? Who can I always trust? Who would I be proud to say, yeah, that's my girlfriend, to my friends and family? I guess it'd have to be... No! Oh, I saw that! I freaking saw that! I'll definitely have to think about it later. Thanks, Monika. I really appreciate the advice. No problem, Devin. I hope you've calmed your nerves a bit. Yeah, you helped. Though I don't know if I'm ready for this club today. I don't know if I'm ready to deal with all this. I'm sure she won't ask you about it today, Devin. But it wouldn't hurt to decide on what you want soon. Yeah, the sooner the better, I guess. Yeah. Monika takes a look at her watch. We still have some time before lunch period ends. Would you care to join me? Sure, stressing over this does work up quite the appetite. I'm sure it has, Devin. Come on, let's head back. Without another word, Monika and I head down the steps back to the cafeteria. My nose will not stop itching me. I really wasn't social with Monika and her friends when we came back to join them. Other than some occasional chatting, I mostly kept my mouth shut and zoned out. My mind was racing the entire time, attempting to answer the questions Monika gave me. And I'm still a little paranoid that Natsuki is going to try and talk to me later in the club. I don't feel prepared for this. But I guess I did sort of ask for this to happen. Now I've just got to figure out what I want to do next. I really need to thank Monika when all this is over. Oh my god, I swear, this pose is even worse. This pose just basically says, "Hi Devin, how you doing? Have you thought about who you want to be with?" That's literally what this pose is just implying. Her advice has been pretty helpful so far, and I feel like I'll ultimately figure things out thanks to her. She certainly has been dependable. Before I can finish my thought, the school bell rings, signifying the end of lunch period for me. Well, I guess it's back to boring old math for me. Good luck, Devin. Yeah, it was nice catching up with you. Likewise. I'll see you girls later. Later, Monika. Akari and Ria pack their things and walk out of the cafeteria, leaving me alone with just Monika. Just Monika. I hate that. I hate the way that sentence was put. I know he did that on purpose. Alone with just Monika. Like, anybody who would have just written a normal sentence would just leave the just part out of it. But the just was there because it was supposed to sound like just Monika. Very, very sneaky. Well, I guess I'll see you at the club later then. Yeah, I'll see you then. Hope you're able to give those questions some more thought. I will. It's certainly a lot to think about. It'll all be worth it in the end, Devin, believe me. Well, I do trust you, so... Looks like you've already been giving those questions some thought, huh? My face turns flushed with embarrassment. Well, yeah. You're the person I trust the most to help me through this. How interesting. Ha 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 ha. Monika's like starting to, or MC is completely oblivious, but Monika knows what's going on. What do you mean? Don't worry about it. You have enough on your plate as it is right now. Yeah, you're right. Monika shoots me a reassuring smile, and I can't help but return one myself. If you want, Devin, I can walk you back to your class. My mind completely goes blank. I don't really get the chance to spend too much time around Monika, but with everything going on, I'm hardly in a social mood. Then again, this is Monika, and I guess a little company wouldn't hurt. She was nice enough to hear me out after all. But what if Natsuki sees us and gets the wrong idea? And what if Sayori sees us and also gets the wrong idea? Should I let Monika walk me back? Sure! Sure, we can walk back. Did I choose no in the demo? I can't remember. Was this even in the demo? I can't remember either. But if this was in the demo, I wonder if I chose no. I feel like that would be the kind of thing I would have gone for. But to be completely honest, like my thinking process changed. Like, for me now as a person, I don't really care what other people think of me. So if this was my situation in real life, if somebody sees this and gets the wrong idea, fine. I'll explain it to them and tell them it's not, what it's about. And if they don't believe me, then whatever. But for the most part, I think nowadays I would choose yes. Awesome. Lead the way, Devin. I'm not entirely sure why Monika wanted to walk with me so badly, but hey, I'll oblige. It wouldn't hurt so. We're hurt to. I smiled to myself as we make our way out of the cafeteria. Monika and I make our way through the crowded hallways up towards the second floor. I turn to her, our eyes meeting. You didn't really have to walk me back. Well, I just want to make sure you're holding up okay. A lot of people tend to break down in these kind of situations. Yeah, but I'll be fine, I think. Well, you can always count on me if you need anything, Devin. You're too kind, Monika, really. I try, Devin. It's important to me that you're always in the best state of mind. I avert my gaze to hide my incoming smile. Geez, I didn't think Monika would ever be this nice to me. It's almost too much to handle. As we walk through the hallways, I can't help but notice several of the other students catching glances in our direction and whispering. Monika apparently picks up on this too. They're not thinking that we're... a couple? Oh god, if Sayori heard those rumors. Monika slides up to me and whispers in my ear. This is nice, isn't it? To have someone to walk with you, to keep you company? Yeah, it is. Oh my god! Was she about to bring up fucking... Oh god. Hey! I hear someone yelling to us across the hallway. Wait a second. I recognize that yelling anywhere. Hi, Sayori! I wasn't just, in front, like, head to head with Monika or anything like that. Sayori! The one and only! My, you startled me. Sorry, Monika, I hope I didn't scare you too bad. No, you're fine. Trust me, you get used to it. She does this all the time with me. I see. Well, how you doing, Sayori? I'm doing great. I just went to get some water and I ran into you guys. Gee, what a coincidence. Yeah, we're just heading back from lunch. Turns out we had the same period. Crazy, right? That's awesome, Devin. It's good to have someone keep you company during lunch period. Yeah, it really is. Devin got the chance to catch up with Akari and Ria as well. That's great to hear. Thank you for letting him sit with you, Monika. It was no trouble at all. It was the least I could do. Monika shoots me a quick wink. Don't wink at me! Hey, Monika, this isn't your class on the other side of the school? Well, I don't think taking a slight detour from my normal route will make me late or anything. I said that like a robot, what the fuck? Well, that's good. I love the music, by the way. It's like it's the Oheyu Sayori, but it's like in like a different style with like different instruments and stuff like that. It's a kind of like a tropical kind of sounding to it. I'd really love to stay and chat, but I had to get back to class pretty soon. It's alright, Sayori. We'll see you in the club. Yeah, I can't wait. See you guys later. We wave goodbye to Sayori as we head our separate ways. Not too long after I run in with Sayori, Monika and I finally make it to my classroom. Thanks for walking back with me, Monika. Anytime, Devin. I hope you have a great rest of your day. You too. Monika takes a step closer to me and leans in my ear. Don't do it! Try not to overthink. She suddenly pulls on my tie. And make sure your tie is straight, silly. See you later. I hate you so much. I really hate Monika now. I should have never chose to walk with her. Because, like, the thing is, like, you know, I thought it was just going to be me and her walking to class, you know? And now she's making it look like it's supposed to be more obvious that we're a couple, but we're not. And, like, she's what's the word I'm looking for? She's basically... She knows it's happening. She knows what she's doing. I don't know how to explain it, but she's trying to make it a little more aware to people around, including Sayori and Natsuki. That's another way she's trying to sabotage me. I'm left completely dazed as I watch Monika gracefully walk down the hallway and turn the corner, toward the other side of the school. I catch a few of my classmates smirking at me in the corner of my eye. Flustered, I just walk into my classroom and hastily sit down, refusing to make eye contact with anyone, as I process what just happened. The rest of the day seems to grind to a crawl as we begin the second half of the day, though I guess it just leaves me more time to think about everything, especially considering how Monika was with me earlier. Was she flirting with me? She was incredibly helpful to me today, that's for sure, though she seemed to keep to herself when Sayori was around. I don't know, I know Monika wants to help me, but is that all she wants though? I mean, I don't see much of a reason she'd be interested in me. I really haven't spent much time around Monika at all. It's not like we know each other super well or anything, but it'd be wrong for me to go for a while with Sayori. Well, I guess this all just ties into the questions Monika and I said I should ask myself. But right now, I can't really decide on who I'd be happiest with. This is hardly the time and place for this. I can think about this later. I should just try to focus on paying attention to this stupid algebra. After long last, the bell rings signifying that the school day is officially over. Though I suppose that means I'm going to brace for the worst with Natsuki. I think I have a general idea of what I want to say if it comes down to it. Well, hopefully things will just go smoothly for today. I finish packing my things and head out to the hallway to meet Sayori. Sure enough, I spotted Sayori waiting just outside the classroom. Hey Devin. Hey Sayori. Ready for another day of fun and literature? With you, always. Well, in that case, you better get going. Yep. Let's go, Devin. What are we waiting for? With slight hesitance, I begin to the walk with Sayori to the literature club. As we're traveling our usual route, I still can't help but feel the anxiety well up within me and with every step I take, though I just take a deep breath and tell myself everything will be fine. Thankfully, Sayori seems to be blissfully unaware of my apparent apprehension, but it's probably for the best. Eventually, we stop right outside the club. Well, here we are. Yep, can't wait to see what's in store for today. Sayori opens the door and steps into the club with me right behind her. Let's just get this over with. Sure enough, the club's the same as it's always been, with everyone in their normal spots doing their normal routines. Monika quickly spots us coming in. Hey guys! Hey Monika! How are you two? I'm doing pretty well. Looking forward to another great day with you guys. Aw, Sayori. She's always a charmer. Teehee! I take it you already have her poems, Devin. Yeah, I got hers yesterday. I just needed your poems and Yuri's. Fortunately, I remember to bring them. I'll give them to you by the time club's over. Is it gonna be another fucking love letter? I swear to God if it is, Monika. Alright. Well, you guys can go sit down. We're gonna get started in a few minutes. Sounds good to me. Monika leans in to whisper something to me as Sayori goes back to sit down. So, how you holding up? Still thinking over a lot of stuff. Though, in case Natsuki asks about a confession letter, I have an idea of what I want to say. Well, that's good. Still, this is a pretty sensitive topic for you two, so just be careful with what you say. I'll try my best. Great. Well, I'll be here if you want to talk more, Devin. Right now, I think I could use something to calm me down a bit. It's been a fairly stressful day for me to thinking all about all this. Whenever I'm feeling stressed out, I find that music usually helps calm the nerves. I've been working on something if you want to give it a listen. I'll think about it. Thank you, Monika. Anytime. Monika goes back to the teacher's desk, leaving me standing in the middle of the room once again. Looking around the room, I try to figure out who can I talk to without completely melting down or making some sort of scene. So, of course, that leaves Natsuki out of the question. I guess that only leaves 3 people I can try talking to. Save! Sayori! I should see how Sayori's doing. I walk over to Sayori and I take my usual spot next to her. Hey, Sayori! Hey, Devin! You seem to be doing a lot better today. Well, that's because I get to spend so much time around you, silly. Ah, well, my face heats up with embarrassment as I nervously scratch the back of my head. It's nothing, Sayori, really. I mean, someone's gotta keep an eye on you. Eh, what do you mean? I'm not trying to make you watch over me all the time. Why, it'd be a real chore to have someone take care of someone like me. If it was a chore, would I do this? I proceed to boop Sayori on the nose. Hey, stop it! I boop Sayori on the nose a couple more times before she playfully slaps my hand away. You're so silly, Devin. I learned from the best. Aww. I suddenly hear Sayori's stomach emit a loud, audible growl that I'm pretty sure everybody in the room heard. I turn to face Sayori, who looks away in embarrassment. I know exactly what's gonna happen next. Sayori then looks at me with her puppy eyes. Hey, Devin? Yes? I'm hungry. Can you come with me to get a snack? You mean, buy you a snack? I don't know what you mean. How much money do you have with you? What, 2 cents? Sayori struggles to come up with a response. I decided that I'll spare her the embarrassment this time. Come on, let's go. Yay! Sayori beams at me. We both walk out of the club room and into the nearest vending machine. After a short walk around the corner, we arrive at the vending machines. Sayori and I gaze at the various cookies, candies, drinks, and other snacks currently in stock. I am jealous! Because you know what? In my state, they don't, the school systems do not allow any sort of, sweets at all. You can't bring in sweets, nobody can offer you sweets, and it's just it's the most strictest rule set ever, regarding food and stuff, and it's just so annoying. I hate it so much. To have vending machines with cookies and candies and stuff it makes me so jealous. I wish we had a vending machine in schools that had stuff like that. What are you thinking about getting? Actually, now that I think about it, I do actually have, with college, they give you a lot more freedom with that, but the public school system and stuff regarding high school and down, that's a complete no-go. As I look to my left, I see Sayori in what I can always describe as a food trance as she stares in awe. Ice cream! Yes, that answers my question. Sayori moves aside as I enter the number for the ice cream bars. After inserting the coins into the slot, 2 ice cream bars tumble down into the tray. I hand Sayori the chocolate while I opt for the plain vanilla. We sit down on a nearby bench and begin eating our ice cream. So, does this count for the ice cream I already owe you? Oh, come on, Devin, don't be so mean. She playfully sticks. Oh, yeah, that's right. We lost to Mario Kart, so I owe her an ice cream, don't I? She playfully sticks out her ice cream stained tongue at me. Besides, this isn't a Sunday. I suppose so. Sayori and I continue eating our ice cream. As usual, Sayori finishes hers in under a minute while I nurse mine. Sayori's eyes dart over to my ice cream. Hey, Devin? Don't even think about it. Usually, my stern voice would be enough to deter Sayori from mooching off my food, but for whatever reason today, she seems insistent. Come on! No, Sayori. Sayori slowly begins to scooch herself closer to me while giving me her usual puppy eyes. I try hard not to look at her as I hold my ice cream as far away as possible. She tries to grab my ice cream, but her reach isn't far enough. Come on, Devin, please! No, you already had yours. Let me have mine. We sound like children. This reminds me of the times when we would share food as kids. Sayori would always beg to have what I was having when she finished her food. For some reason, ever since she and I started dating, she's been able to break my resolve more easily. I guess they call that love. Please! She keeps trying to grab my ice cream, but she keeps failing to reach it. You really don't want to share it with me, do you, Devin? But you already had yours! Yeah, but what? Yours is vanilla! Then you should have gotten vanilla! Sayori crosses her arms and pouts. This girl! I have to stand up for myself at some point with Sayori's never-ending hunger. But then again, would one bite really hurt? You asshole, share your ice cream. Alright, you win. But one bite only. Hooray! Sayori scooches over to me as I sheepishly put my ice cream below Sayori's face. Now remember... Okay, I fucking knew that would happen. Why did I decide to do that? Nom! Sayori proceeds to gulp down all of my ice cream in one bite before I can even finish my sentence. Now she has vanilla ice cream all over her face. Hey! Sayori grins at me, and then she trots back to the club room, expecting me to hunt her down. Wait a second. She didn't even have time to wipe her off her face. Crap. I hastily run to the bathroom to grab a paper towel and sprint back to the club room. I barge into the club room. Wait, Sayori, you forgot to clean yourself up. Oh yeah, vanilla ice cream! Oh no! I just got it! I just fucking got it! vanilla ice cream on her face looks like something completely different happened in the hallways. Let's just put it at that. And now everybody else has that thought in their head. I see Monika, Yuri, and Natsuki stop what they're doing and then train their eyes on me. Everyone then turns to Sayori, seeing the vanilla ice cream all over her face. They all turn back to me, putting on a mix of anger, bewildered, and shock expressions on their faces. This is exactly what I wanted to avoid. I can see rage build up in Natsuki's eyes, while Yuri's face is a flushed bright red. Monika simply looks irritated. Devin? What took you so long? We just went to grab some ice cream. Sorry we took so long. Monika sighs. It's alright. We were just a little worried since you guys were gone for so long. We needed to give you our poems for the event on Monday. Oh yeah, thanks. Monika walks up to me and hands me her stack of poems. Thanks, Monika. No problem. I walk over to where Yuri is sitting. Hey, Yuri. Yuri doesn't say a word, or really even acknowledge me. Do you have your poems? Yuri briefly puts down her book and reaches for her bag where she retrieves a stack of paper and puts it on the corner of her desk. I didn't get a good look at her face, but I could tell it was bright red. I looked at Natsuki, but she turned her cheek, clearly not wanting to talk to me either. Letting out a sigh, I put the poems in my bag. After carefully putting poems away, I walk over to Sayori with a paper towel. You forgot this, dummy. I flash her a teasing smile. Hey, don't be such a meanie about it. She takes the paper towel and wipes her face clean. Heh, some things never change with you. Nope, and it's just the way I like it. Just like the way I like you. My heart skips a beat and I can feel the blood rush to my face. Sayori! Just then we hear the sound of giggling. I turn around to see Monika standing right behind me. Ah! Monika! Didn't see you there! Haha, sorry Devin, didn't mean to startle you. Just wanted to check up on how you two lovebirds were doing. Monika flashes us a teasing smile. Lovebirds? Sayori flashes her a confused look. Oh, come on, Sayori, I already know that you two are together. Oh, now Monika's making it obvious to the rest of the club. That's another way she's fucking with us. How do you know? Sayori flashes me a curious look. I never did get the chance to ask Sayori about how Monika knew we were dating. I thought you told her, Sayori. Sayori turns back to Monika. I'm the club president. I just know about everything there is to know about all of you. Hearing Monika saying that sends a chill down my spine. She isn't stalking us or anything like that, right? I'm happy for you two, I really am. Her voice trails off and her eyes drift downward towards the floor. Something tells me she isn't being very genuine here. It's just that I wish I could find a relationship like you guys have. Most boys only want me for one thing. Sayori frowns at Monika. Aw, Monika. Sayori stands up and walks over to Monika, pulls her in for a hug. Monika appears to tense up at Sayori's gesture, but her fresh face keeps the same collected look as always. At first, she clenched her fists hard, but she eventually reciprocates the hug. You'll find someone one day, I just know it. Oh, I think I already have. Monika! Oh, who is it? What's his name? I'd rather not say. All I know is that I don't know if he's looking for the right girl right now. I swear to God, Monika! Monika eerily winks at me. Sayori and Monika release each other from their embrace. Oh, I'm sure he'll come around. How can anybody miss you, Monika? You're so smart and beautiful. Well, it's been hard to get a good read on him lately. One day it seems like he's interested in me, the next day he's off talking to someone else. I thought I had the perfect opening to get to know him recently, but something changed, and now I've barely been able to talk to him. Sayori puts her hand on Monika's shoulder. I hope it all works out for you in the end, Monika. I believe in you. Thank you, Sayori. I'm confident that this time, things will work out between us. Can't wait to hear about it, Monika. I'll be sure to tell you all about it. Monika smiles to both of us and begins slowly walking to the front of the room. As she walks by me, I saw Monika flash a quick smile at me as I get a whiff of her Forget-Me-Nots perfume. I'm briefly left dazed by the strong scent. I'm not used to Monika's perfume being this strong, nor did I really ever notice how beautiful her hair looks. Though, this sudden warm and fuzzy feeling, I start to get a feeling that Monika was somehow talking about me the entire time. No, that can't be it. She knows I'm with Sayori. I'm brought back to reality by Sayori, who keeps poking at my cheek. Hey, Devin, you there? I snap out of my daze. Oh, Sayori, I was spacing out again, wasn't I? Yup. Huh, well I guess I've just been thinking about it a lot lately. Anything in particular? Not really. I hope Sayori isn't mad that I've been staring at Monika for too long. Though thankfully she either didn't notice or is choosing to overlook it. It was a little weird that Monika knew we were dating, though. I don't think I told her. Maybe she figured it out on her own, I guess. Yeah, besides, everyone's going to figure it out eventually anyways. I mean, it's not like we're keeping this top secret or anything. Yeah, I know. I mean, I don't exactly want to scream out to the world that we're together. Aw, you don't want to show me off? No, it's not that. It's just that all my friends who are in relationships are going to overwhelm me with advice and congratulations. And I don't know if I'm prepared to deal with all that right now. Well, we'd definitely be the talk at the school for a good week at least. Yeah, it'd be kind of nice though. That it would. Sarah and I share a small laugh as we wait for Monika to start the activity for today. Okay, everyone, gather around. I want to share all you with the activity for today. Everyone takes a seat in front of the room by Monika. My nose will not stop itching me. I'll be right back, guys. Alright, I've been meaning to bring this up for a while now. After we finish the photo shoot on Monday, we're going to be reading a piece of literature of our choosing. Yuri and Sayori nearly burst out of their seats with excitement, while Natsuki lets out a groan. Classic Natsuki. I mostly just keep a neutral expression, but I'm kind of intrigued as to what we'll be reading. Judging by Natsuki's response, we'll probably be thinking on the same plane, hoping we're not given something that we'd have to read for our own literature classes. I have a few early choices we can choose from, but I'm happy to entertain any ideas you guys may have. Wait, is there a catch to this? Nope, so long as it's literature. So though ultimately this has to be something everyone's willing to read. Natsuki's lip curled to a mischievous smile while Yuri shuts her eyes, bracing for what Natsuki's about to say next. So, does manga count? Well, considering there's different kinds of manga, I'm willing to allow it for its inclusion in this activity. I guess some forms of manga could actually be considered literature. Yes! Natsuki pumps her fist in the air. See, Yuri, even Monika admits that manga is literature. Just keep in mind, it has to be something we'd all be willing to read, Natsuki. And I hope you'd be willing to read something of my preferred taste as well. I guess that seems fair to me. Good. So what are you recommending, Monika? I'd like to recommend this story. Monika proudly holds up a copy of a green book by the name of Two of Us. I just got started on it, but so far it's been pretty good, and a pretty good read. Sayori's eyes widen. Ooh, I've heard good things about that one. What's it about? It's about this girl who realizes that she's living in a fake reality, but she finds someone else who knows this truth too. The story is about their struggle to accept their circumstances in their attempt to return to the real world, It's technically a romance novel, but it has some sci-fi and horror elements mixed in. How can a book be both horror and romance? That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I haven't gotten that far into it, so I can't answer that. Besides, that'd probably be spoiling. Yeah, I guess it would. I mean, there are quite a few romance novels that mix horror into their story. Like this book, for instance. Yuri digs into her bag and holds up a book with a faded violet cover called Outcast's Dilemma. Natsuki rolls her eyes as soon as she reads the title. Is it another horror book? The horror in this book is rather tame compared to what I usually like to read. Well, I guess that means Yuri has a pretty high tolerance for horror. Natsuki and Sayori both look off uneasily. I know you two aren't really into horror, but trust me, most of this book is romance. So what are the scary parts? And what exactly is it all about? The book is about this girl who is an outcast from her dystopian society because she doesn't meet their standards for perfection. She goes on to meet a man who saves her, and the two fall in love. Eventually, the man is able to get her accepted back into society, but only if she completes several tasks for the government. So that's where the horror comes in. That's funny. I'd assume so. I'm only halfway done. That sounds like a fun book to read, Yuri. I'd be happy to get you. I'd be happy to get a copy of that. I mean, I'd be willing to read anything you guys recommend. I don't exactly have a library back at my house. Well, if that's the case, Devin, I think I got something you might enjoy. Natsuki reaches into her bag and holds up a large light blue book called Love's Exit. Huh, I've actually heard of this one before. Actually, I think I have as well. This one is actually one of the few manga that got their own movie, though the manga got much better reviews. Anyway, it's about a boy who rescues his friend from her abusive family. God damn it, why is all their books about themselves? But because his friend's family is pretty powerful, they have to go on the run. And while they're out there, they fall in love with is this like is the mod creator like trying to hint at what the other stories would have been had I chose a different character to be with? Like, cause I'm playing through all the routes for this mod. Like don't get me wrong. It's just, is that like a hint towards like what's happening in other stories for this mod? That'd be kind of cool if it was. But they know their situation ultimately isn't sustainable. The ending of the story is really sad, though. I never thought Natsuki would ever be able to be into something that's sad. So it's a romantic tragedy manga. Yeah, pretty much. I read it a few years ago. I picked it up because it looked like a cute story on the outside. Then as I was reading it, I realized how wrong I was. It's a good story all around, though I probably wouldn't have read it if I knew it was a tragedy story. Well, I'll admit, Natsuki, you have me intrigued. Wow, really? I never thought I'd see the day you'd actually picking up my manga. I just hope that we see the day where you pick up a horror novel. Hey, I said I'd be willing to try. It just needs to be the right story. What do you mean by that? Sensing the incoming tension, Sayori steps in. You know, I think I may have a story that we can all enjoy. Sayori holds up a pink-covered book called Rainshine. I'm not familiar with this one. What's it about? It's about this girl who develops a split personality, and the story is about her struggle in trying to overcome it. The ending is really bittersweet. Sounds like it could be interesting. Have you read it before? Yeah, I've read it a couple times before, but I haven't read it recently. It's actually one of my favorite stories. I didn't even know Sayori had a favorite story, much less I didn't know that she would read something like that. But I guess, with the way she described it, I think I might know the reason she likes reading that book. And in fact, I think I might be seeing a general trend with each of the books described by everyone. Gee, it's almost as if they literally just explained themselves. They all have a female protagonist, and the story resolves around love in some way. I guess that's what I get for being the only guy here. Alright, so we have our options. I'll look into seeing if I can get copies for all of us tomorrow, and if I'm able to. Then we can decide on what we'll read first. Is that okay with everyone? Yeah, everyone nods in agreement. Alright then, we still have some time before the club ends, so you guys are free to hang around. Devin, I believe you have everyone's poems? I do. Awesome. Well, let us know if you need anything else. I'll be sure to. Everyone gets up and goes back to their respective areas. I know Sayori is starting to pack up her things, so assuming she'll want to leave soon, I start walking over to join her. However, I feel a tap on my shoulders and is it fucking Monika? It's Monika, isn't it? It's Natsuki! I was wrong! It was either one or the other, I knew that much. I turn around to see Natsuki standing right behind me. By the way, I'm sorry if this is going to go on for like an hour. This is one of the longer days. I didn't plan for it to be like an hour long, but you know what? I like the day style of episodes. I like how each episode for the mods I play are completely gone like by day. I think it's just a perfect, organization thing to have for recording this game. I turn around to see Natsuki standing right behind me. My heart immediately starts pounding against my chest as anxiety builds up inside of me. Oh, hey Natsuki, what's up? I try to steady my voice as best as I can. I fail miserably. Hey, Natsuki. Fortunately, Natsuki doesn't really seem to notice, thank God, as she seems rather unnerved as well. She lets out a sigh before looking up at me. Look, I'm sorry about how I acted earlier. I didn't mean to brush you off without giving a chance to explain what happened. I've just been having a bad day today. It's fine, Natsuki, really. I'm just glad we can put that behind us. Natsuki smiles as we stand in the middle of the room awkwardly. So, what's gotten you down? I think I might have lost one of my manga. It was a special edition copy, and it was super expensive. Ah, geez. Do you know where you might have left it? I think I have an idea of where it might be. I might have left it in my last class. Well, I hope you find it. You're not sticking around? Well, I think Sayori's about to leave, so I'm gonna head home with her. Why do you always do that? Do what? What do you mean? It's like you're always following her around like a lost puppy. I don't know how she constantly puts up with it. Why is it that almost everything you do has to resolve around Sayori? Natsuki, it's not really true. Forget it. I have manga to find. Without another word spoken, Natsuki angrily walks out of the club room, though it doesn't appear that anybody's noticed the incident that just took place between us. I let out a sigh as I walk over to Sayori, who seems to have just finished packing her things. Hey, Devin, ready to go? I weakly smile at Sayori. Yeah, sure. Let's get going. Sayori picks up on my agitated tone. You okay, Devin? You look upset. It's nothing. Let's just head home. Okay, then. Sayori and I wave goodbye to Monika and Yuri as we head out to start our commute home. The walk home with Sayori considerably lifted my spirits from my run-in with Natsuki. Sayori still asked me a few questions about why I was such in a grouchy mood earlier, but I just muttered out some answer, and she seemed to have mostly bought it. I'm still gushing a little over the little ice cream incident that we had earlier. Even though Sayori tried to play it off like it was nothing, I had a hard time believing that she wasn't trying to have a little fun with me. Needless to say, when I called her out on her, she called me a meanie, and we just left it at that. Seeing Sayori like this gives me hope that she can overcome her depression. It's not that, it's taken her over fully, she's still capable of being herself, and today reminded me of that. In some ways, she still is the same kid next door I grew up with. Devin, we're here! Huh? After Sayori derails my train of thought, I look over to see that we've already arrived at our houses. Geez, Devin, you've been spacing out more than I have lately. Yeah, I've just had a lot to think about, that's all. Is everything okay, Devin? Yeah, I'm fine, Sayori. I mean, you've looked pretty stressed this whole day. Is it because of last night? I'm sure it has something to do with it, but it's not everything. Well, what's bugging you? Sayori, it's not something you can really solve. And it's not something I can really talk with you or anyone else, really. It's just, I need to solve this one on my own, okay? Alright. Well, I hope whatever it is, Devin, I hope it works out for you. I'm here if you need me. I know, and that's all I need to know right now. Sayori and I stand silently on the sidewalk, the silence only being disturbed by the occasional gust of wind. Well, I'll talk to you later, Devin. Alright. Sayori runs up to me and gives me a tight hug. Just sleep well tonight, okay? I'll try my best. Sayori and I release each other as we both madly blush at each other. Love you, Devin. Love you too, Sayori. With one more smile between us, we wave a goodbye to each other as we walk back into our houses. After changing out of my school uniform and into my regular clothes, I immediately collapse back onto my bed. What the hell am I gonna do? That word asked myself. I know I love Sayori. I do. I enjoyed every moment I've been around her. There's really no reason to change that. But I don't feel like I can let Natsuki down. Should I give her a chance at least? I mean, in hindsight, I did kind of say yes to Sayori right on the spot. I only spent time alone with Natsuki once, but I know I have an obligation to stick to Sayori. She needs me, but I guess it's worth asking myself, do I really need her? I stare at my ceiling as I repeat the question in my head over and over. I mean, where would I be without her? If it wasn't for her inviting me to the club, she wouldn't be my girlfriend right now. I wouldn't have met any of the others. I'd probably be in this room just watching whatever anime was on and playing online. It's a simple life, sure, but it's kind of lonely in retrospect. I'd probably be feeling sorry for myself that I didn't let Sayori take me to the club. I owe her so much, even if she won't admit it. And she does light up my world in a way that no anime or game could ever do. She does make me feel genuinely happy, and I do feel accepted around her. Not to mention we put up with each other for all these years. My life would probably be pretty dull and boring without her. I mean, even the little fight we had over the ice cream was kind of fun. Even though I did indulge her and let her take my ice cream from me. It's good to see that despite whatever she has to endure from her rain clouds, she still knows how to be herself. But if I wasn't in her life, had I not grown so close to her, if she continued to have those rain clouds, where would she be? I almost fear the answer. Not that I think Sayori would ever do anything I saw in my dreams. I have a sinking feeling that it may have crossed her mind. I mean, she's told me what, like 3 times now that I'm the reason that she's even alive? What does that even mean? I know her well enough to know it's not her way of flirting, but it's not like she's ever given me any huge warning signs aside from this. Maybe I should ask her about it sometime. She'll probably say no, but even if she tells me that, I could use a peace of mind. Speaking of peace of mind, I know what Natsuki wants, and I'm just gonna have to lay it out for her. I guess at one point I did have similar feelings for Natsuki, especially with what last Sunday went, and I still find part of me wondering if what could have been still could be, especially considering how much fun I had with her preparing for and at the festival. Even if she was competing with Sayori for my attention, but can I really do that to Sayori? I roll over my face to face my bookshelves. On one of the shelves, I spot a picture of me and Sayori at the carnival. Man, that must have been at least 10 years ago. Do I really have it in me to tell her, that same girl who is now my girlfriend, that I want to dump her for another relationship that's not even guaranteed to work out, and risk possibly dividing the club? I get out of bed and walk over to pick up the picture frame. Upon a closer look, I see Sayori clutching a familiar giant-sized cow. Huh. I almost forgot that's when I won it from her for her. I always did tell Sayori that she deserved the best. Suddenly I hear my phone ring. I put the picture frame down and run over to my phone to see who's calling. To my surprise, it's Sayori! Why is she calling me? We saw each other like 10 minutes ago. I answer the phone. Sayori? Hey, Devin! Why are you calling? Didn't we see each other like 10 minutes ago? Yeah, but what? I'm hungry. There it is! There it fucking is! Well, make yourself some food. I don't have anything. Well, then get takeout. Devin, you know I don't have a car. I facepalm myself. This girl. Sayori, you don't need a car for takeout. You can just order over the phone or online or however it's done now. I don't know any of the restaurant numbers, or I don't know any of the restaurant numbers. Well, can't you look it up online? Too lazy. I laugh a little myself. I see what she's trying to do. Still, I have a little fun with her. Well, I guess you're just gonna have to starve, Sayori. Hey, you're a big meanie. Don't you have anything to help your poor starving girlfriend? Actually, let me check. I walk downstairs to my kitchen. As soon as I get into the kitchen, I open my fridge. Wow, looks like Sayori and I are in the same predicament. How did I not see it this morning? Well, I mean, you just had a bowl of fruits. It's not like you've really had much to begin with. See anything? Looks like I'm out of food too. Wow. You didn't break into my house and steal my food, did you? What? No, Devin, don't be silly. I'm just saying, if it happened, you'd be the prime suspect. I hear Sayori giggling on the other end of the line. Well, I do have the ski mask. You're not robbing my house. And why do you have a ski mask? You don't remember the 6th grade field trip to that mountain? No. Oh, wait. I think you were sick that time. Well, that probably explains why I wouldn't remember it. Yeah, it would. Well, if you're not too busy, we could get some food together if you want. And let me guess, I'm paying for it. The idea of getting food with Sayori is tempting, but I don't know if I really want to leave the house considering I got some heavy-duty thinking to do. Not to mention I could use the early start on my homework. Should I get food with Sayori? Hell yeah! Food's awesome! Yeah, sure, I wouldn't mind going out. I mean, it's not like we had a proper first date yet. I'm not taking you away from anything, am I? No, and to be honest, I probably could use the fresh air. Okay. Well, we're not going anywhere super fancy, but I did have one place in mind. It's in the city. Sounds fancy to me. It's not really anything super, it's more of a fast food place. Hey, I don't mind. Food is food. It's not like I have a preference right now. Yeah, me neither. I'll meet you outside in a few minutes, okay? Alright, see you in a bit. Bye. Sayori disconnects the call. I'm fairly surprised that Sayori wants to go out. We haven't gone out to eat together in years, although I'm more happy to take her up on her offer. All this thinking does work up quite an appetite. Hopefully she doesn't try to take my food again. I grab my keys and wallet and emphasis on wallet and walk out of my house to meet so we are paying for it. Oh my jeez. I walk out of my house and wait by the fence that separates the two houses. Not long after I arrive, I see Sayori exiting her back door and walking up to the fence. I unlock the gate and hold it open as she walks through. Hey Sayori! Hey Devin! I gleefully take Sayori to my arms. Feeling her embrace once again seems to melt away all the stress and worrying I experienced just a few minutes ago. I can only hold her tighter as I continue to release my stress. Fortunately, Sayori doesn't seem to mind, as she only blushes brighter as my embrace tightens. I don't know why, but every time I find myself in Sayori's arms, it just feels like I'm in heaven. She's always given me great hugs, sure, but lately it's been different. Almost a magical sort of feeling that I really can't put into words. Well, I can't complain, I'll just enjoy this magical moment we're sharing for as long as possible. However, the magical moment is quickly ruined by Sayori's stomach emits a loud enough rumble that I'm sure everyone in the neighborhood heard. Didn't you already use that joke? Sayori breaks the embrace and steps back in embarrassment. Sorry, Devin, I guess I'm kind of hungry. I'm not sure if kind of hungry is really an accurate way to describe your appetite, Sayori. I don't think anything can, to be quite honest. I guess that's true. I just hope wherever we're going has enough food for you to conquer your hunger. Well, there's only one way to find out. Let's get going. After you. I lock the gate behind us as Sayori and I begin our journey to the restaurant. As we begin our walk to the restaurant, I immediately begin to realize where Sayori is taking us. I turn to Sayori, eyeing her suspiciously. You're taking us to Gomaya's, aren't you? Yup. How'd you know? I remember these old side streets. Our parents always took this way to get there. I think my dad always called it the shortcut. That's because they wanted to avoid all the traffic on Rockefeller Street. I don't blame them. Still, I'm a little surprised you remember all the way. How could I forget, Devin? I always loved to walk to Gomaya's. Though you always hated the walk back. I think you like that place too much for your own good, Sayori. Their ice cream is so good, though. Not to mention the jungle gym they kept outside. Heh, that was pretty fun now that I think about it. Sucks we can't go on it now, though. Why not? What's stopping us? Sayori, we would break that shit in a heartbeat. I try to hold in a chuckle. I still sometimes forget Sayori's still a child at heart. It's what I really like about her. We're way too old to go on it. I'm pretty sure that they set the age limit at 12. I doubt the staff would let us anywhere near it. Well, that's no fair. Sayori, we're not kids anymore. I don't even think we'd fit between the bars, to be honest with you. Not me, I'm pretty sure I can fit. Yeah, right. You get stuck between the bars and then we'd all have to call someone to get you out. Remember the swing set incident back in the 4th grade? Hey, it wasn't my fault. That swing set was just really old. I don't think its age was the problem, Sayori. It was meant for toddlers. Matter of fact, I was surprised you still managed to squeeze in. It was the best 100 yen I ever made in elementary school. Even though I got a week's worth of detention because I somehow got blamed for putting you up to it. It wasn't even originally my idea. It was a small price to pay, Devin. Hey! Sayori and I share a brief laugh together. I always did find our laugh to be really cute. Even as kids, I always enjoyed hearing it. And hearing it now, I almost feel like I'm back on the elementary school playground with Sayori. But you would have never been able to pull it off. What do you mean? Let's just face it, Devin. You would have gotten stuck worse than me, or you wouldn't have been able to fit in that swing set at all. I could have tried if I tried hard enough. I just didn't feel like it that day. Devin, your belly was too big back then to fit. And it's still kind of big now. Sayori jokingly rubs my belly for emphasis. Hey, cut it out! I playfully swat her hand away from me as she continues laughing. I was never like that. It's okay, Devin. I still love you. I struggle to suppress my blushing. Even when she's teasing me, she still finds a way to make me blush. Well, I'm not going to let Sayori continue to one-up me. Let's see if she'll take a bet. I bet you I could fit between those bars on the jungle gym. That sounds like a challenge, Devin. Sayori deviously winks at me. Maybe it is one. Alright, you're on. What did I just get myself into? Didn't you literally just tell her we can't go on them? Well, I'm pretty sure it won't be that bad, assuming we can even get in. But there's a chance Sayori will probably forget by the time we get food. Not that I'm worried about losing some stupid little bet. Leave it to Sayori to bring out the kid in me. After a few more minutes of walking, we turn the corner to find our old childhood favorite restaurant still standing up in all of its glory. Sayori and I almost rushed into the building to see if everything was still the same as we remembered it. Despite a few apparent changes, everything was still the same. Sayori seems to be completely lost in thought as she stares around at everything. I guess she hasn't stopped by in a long time either. This place really did mean a lot to both of us. I snapped myself out of my train of thought and nudged Sayori to do the same. Huh? Well, this still looks like the same for the most part, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. I still hope the food tastes the same. Well, there's only one way to find out, right? Let's get some food. Tee-hee. Now you're speaking my language. It comes in handy to know you so well. Yeah. Looks like I got my revenge for earlier, though I decided to be merciful and end Sayori's embarrassment by quickly finding a table for us to sit at. Sayori and I immediately crack open the menus to see what's available. I'm able to quickly pick out what I want while Sayori furrows her brow as she continues to pore over the menu. If I had all the money in the world, there's no question Sayori would find a way to convince me to get her one of everything. After a few minutes, I decide to ask what she's thinking. See anything you like? My nose will not stop itching me. There's so many choices, Devin. Is there anything in particular you're leaning towards? I'm thinking about just getting a burger. Sayori closes her eyes for a moment. What are you doing? I'm trying to see which way my tummy's leaning towards. I can't decide if I want a burger or pizza. Well, hey, it's up to you, Sayori. My treat. You weren't supposed to say that! Sayori takes the next few minutes to think it over. It gets to the point where I'm just considering ordering first and then going back for Sayori's order. So, what does your tummy say? My nose will not stop itching me. It's so annoying. It's not even runny. It's just really itchy. Sayori takes one more look at the menu. I want pizza. What do you want on it? Oh. God damn it! Sayori takes yet another look at the menu. I mean, usually you just get pepperoni. Yeah, but I'm thinking about trying something new this time. I'm thinking about trying out some anchovies. Anchovies, huh? Who are you and what have you done with Sayori? Sayori also had a small laugh. There's nothing wrong with trying something new, Devin. Besides, I remember that their pizzas are super good here. Yeah, I really did enjoy their pizzas. Matter of fact, this place was where I always went to get pizza as a kid. They were always freshly baked, too. Not the cheap, reheated store-bought ones that I've seen in a lot of restaurants around here. You know what? I think I'll try one, too. There you go, Devin. That's the spirit. It seems like you just had that special way over me, don't you? First the literature club, then last Sunday, and even now. Guess you're just still that good at taking me into things. Well, I try my best. You succeed. You always do. I flash her a smile as Sayori continues to blush brightly, whatever. I'll go to put in our orders. I get up and walk to the register and put our order in for a large anchovy pizza. I just hope my stomach doesn't make me regret this later. After about a 10-minute wait, the waiter comes by and delivers our pizza and water. Sayori and I are shocked at the size of it. I don't think I can finish it, but knowing Sayori and her appetite, anything's possible. I'll admit, it smells nice. Sayori quietly takes a slice and stares at it. I follow suit. There's literally a little fish embedded in the pizza. Not that I've ever had a problem with fish, it just seems kind of weird to me. This is so cute. It's like it's swimming in the pizza. Well, now it's gonna swim in our stomachs. Cheers! What do you mean? What are we cheering for? No, it's not like that. It's another word for toast. They have toast here? I don't know, but it doesn't have anything to do with food, silly. It's like we're celebrating. Well, what are we celebrating then? I take a moment to think this over. Well, how much progress have we made in our relationship is definitely worth celebrating. How about to this great loving relationship we found ourselves in? I mean, after everything we've been through, look at us now. Sayori blushes brighter than pizza sauce. That's very sweet of you, Devin. I agree. Cheers! Sayori and I playfully clink our pizzas, that's weird, and take a bite into the anchovy-flavored crust. That would probably make a mess if in real life. Hey, this isn't half bad. So how's yours? Sayori, who's joyfully chowing down her slice of pizza, manages an answer with a mouthful of pizza. It's so good! I try to look away from Sayori's mouth as I take in my next bite. I'm still surprised with how well the taste of the anchovies mixes in with the crust and the sauce. I've never had anchovies on pizza. Fun fact. Is it actually that good? It all mixes together for a surprisingly satisfying flavor. Who knew anchovies mixed in with bread and sauce would be so tasty? I'm definitely going to have to get this again at some point. I continue to pick away at the pizza while Sayori seems to gobble down slices left and right. Even as a kid, Sayori's always managed to consume the craziest amount of food in the shortest amount of time. Hopefully there'll be some pizza left for me to eat before I decide to tap out. After having roughly 5 slices, I eventually decide to call it quits on the pizza. I simply nurse my water as I watch Sayori continue to shred through the slice after slice as if it were nothing. Eventually Sayori finishes the last slice of pizza, leaning back in her chair with satisfaction. So, I take it you enjoyed it. Yeah, it was really good. You seem to enjoy the pizza too. Well, hey, we both know Gomaya's has the best pizza in town. Is that how am I pronouncing it right? Is that an actual place like that I'm just like completely missing? And the best ice cream. I suddenly remembered the bet I made with Sayori yesterday when we were playing Mario Kart. So this is why she wanted us to come here. Well, a bet's a bet, and it looks like this time it's time for me to pay up. Well, I suppose I do owe you from yesterday's bet. You beat me fair and square. Aw, Devin, I'm glad you remembered. Well, if I forgot, you would have reminded me anyway. That's why I wanted to. That's why I wanted to come here for dinner, right? Well, maybe that was part of the reason. I chuckle to myself. All right, let's go see what they have. Sayori wobbly smiles as we get up to check out the ice cream selection. I declined to get anything, but Sayori opted to get 2 scoops of some sort of blueberry-banana combination that I've never even heard of. As per the bet, I ended up paying for the cost of the ice cream, and politely covered the cost for our meal as well. Naturally, Sayori is pretty happy. She quickly gobbled down her ice cream and began to walk home. On our way back, Sayori and I realized that we weren't actually that far from the park we used to spend a lot of time in as kids. Given that we were both in the reminiscing mood, we decided to take a slight detour to head to the park. Though by the time we reached it, the sun had already began to set, and it was starting to get darker by the minute. We agreed to do only one walk around before heading home. Sayori was in a cheerful mood as we started walking, pointing out all our former hangout spots and reminiscing all the moments we shared. Seeing this side of Sayori in a full bloom almost makes me forget that she has depression. Her being so cheery and energetic is a far cry from how she's been acting recently. Maybe it's because I'm spending time with her, or she's just trying her best to show that side of her. Either way, I'd want her to be honest with how she's feeling right now. I gotta say, Sayori, you're in a pretty good mood today. Yeah, today's been really great. And you helped it make it so. I see. You didn't have your rain clouds today? No, not really. Why? I just want to make sure my bundle of sunshine stays that way. I playfully ruffle up Sayori's hair, causing her to giggle loudly. Okay, cut it out. She playfully pushes me away. But yeah, today's been pretty good. And I do think it's partially because of you. I'm just doing my job, Sayori. Besides, looking after you is what I do best. And to be truthful, I kind of enjoy it. It just feels right, you know? Like this was always supposed to happen. Spending all this time around you over the last 2 weeks, it's been really fun, Sayori. I almost feel as if we were kids again, and it's just us going around, having a good time. It's still a little hard for me to realize you've been battling depression the entire time. Well, you helped make it manageable. Honestly, if it weren't for you, I don't know where I'd be right now. Where do you think you'd be? Well, there's really no point in thinking about it, right? We had a great childhood together, and that's really all that matters. Yeah, she's trying to hide this from us. She's trying to hide the fact that she probably tried to kill herself. And that I'm just glad that we're able to reconnect and make many more lasting memories together. Yeah, you're right. Actually, I've been meaning to ask you something, Sayori. About your rain clouds. Oh? What about them? Well, you said you had them for, your entire life? Yeah, I guess. Have you ever thought about seeing someone about this? There's a long pause of silence between us. Finally, Sayori turns to me with a pained look in her eyes. I mean, I have. My initial shock quickly gives way to frustration. She's been debating about whether to seek help for all these years. That doesn't make any sense. Why would you want to feel like crap all the time? Well, why haven't you gotten to see anyone yet? I say that in the most level voice possible, though Sayori seems to pick up on the hint of frustration in my voice. I mean, surely your whole philosophy that you're meant to feel this way doesn't apply to seeking professional help. Well, not exactly. It's something else. Well, what is it? I've read up on the effects that depressants have on people, and what I read terrified me. Antidepressants can completely change your personality, Devin. It changes everything about you. How you act, how you feel, what you like, what you don't like, as well as some other side effects. It makes you numb to everything. To pain, to sadness, to joy. You just become empty. It's like you're better off not taking them. And I don't want to run the risk of not feeling anything anymore. I don't want to let anything change who I am. If I take them, I might not be the same girl you've always known. I can't let that happen. So if I have to put up with all this pain and suffering just to have a little fun with you, then to me, it's worth it. I want you to be happy, Devin, and I know you want what's best for me, but I'd rather feel the full weight of my rain clouds barrel down on me than not feel anything at all. I just couldn't do that to you. I'd only be receiving your kindness, and I could never return it. At least that's with how I am now, I can. And since you know the truth, I can be honest with how I feel, especially around you. I completely stopped in my tracks as I looked at Sayori in the same way a deer would look at headlights. I can't believe what I'm hearing. She'd rather put up with all this rather than taking the chance at getting better? Oh god, what do I even say here? Sayori stops walking as well, staring on at me as tears continue to build up in her eyes. I just try to stammer out something that makes sense. Sayori, look. I'm not going to pretend like I'm sort of expert doctor or whatever, because I'm not. But look, dealing with your depression like this isn't healthy at all. I think we can both agree to that. But you never know what works until you try it, right? Like how you convinced me to join the literature club. And like earlier, how you convinced me to try out the anchovy pizza for the first time. If you have the chance to get out of this constant cycle of feeling down and happy, you really should consider it. Maybe you just need a simple therapy or something, I don't know. Because I know I can't be around you all the time to make you feel better. It's just not practical. And I know you say you feel better than when you're around me, and I've really tried my best. I just don't know if I can be the only solution to this. We need to try something else. You need to get better, Sayori. Well, what do you want me to do, Devin? Believe me, if I could have wished the rain clouds away, I would have done it long ago. And I don't really believe it's just talking about it is going to make it better. I know those antidepressants are going to be the only way out of this, but it comes at the cost of all my feelings, not just the bad ones. Maybe it's brand-based, I don't know, but look, can you just promise me to at least think this over? Sayori stares off in the darkness as she mulls my request over. I know this isn't the first time she thought about getting help, but maybe it's different now and that I'm the one pushing for it. Sayori then lets out a sigh. Alright, I'll think it over. Just no promises, okay? It would mean the world to me if you think long and hard about this. I know. You won't see me any differently if something happens, right? What do you mean? If I take them and something happens, you'll still see me as the same girl you grew up with, right? You still love me? Of course I'll still love you. There's nothing's gonna change that. I love you, Devin. I love you too, Sayori. Well, look, it's getting late. We should probably start heading back. I offer my arm to Sayori, who giggles at my gesture. Aren't you such the gentleman? Only for you. Sayori smiles as she wraps herself around my arm. With Sayori secured, we begin walking back on the path we came, illuminated by the light poles scattered along the path and the stars above us. Walking back, I notice several small animals scurrying around in the shadows, presumably looking for food. I'm able to make out a few squirrels and rabbits, but it's hard to make out the exact details of it being so dark by this point. Strangely enough, Sayori doesn't really seem to notice them. I turn to her, and she's simply staring ahead with the biggest grin on her face, enjoying latching onto my arm. I simply smile to myself as we continue to make the journey home, with the sound of animals frolicking behind us. It was mostly a silent walk back. We occasionally made some small talk, but I just generally let out Sayori enjoy the feeling of being close to me. Though I can't say I didn't enjoy being close to her like that either. I mean, that's what couples do, right? Sharing these kinds of moments with each other, though eventually Sayori is forced to let go as we stop at our houses. I'll see you tomorrow, Devin. My nose! I can still tell she's flustered, wow, I can't speak, over the walk back. This is like such a long video that like now like my voice is starting to like give in, and like just the fact that my mouth is feeling so dry right now, and like my reading has become worse and worse throughout the video. Though I feel that my face is a little red as well. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Try to get some good night's sleep, alright? I'll try my best. Oh my fucking god. Hopefully, telling Sayori about my dreams will ease him off of me for tonight. See you tomorrow. I take Sayori into my arms and hug her tightly. I decide to throw in a peck on the cheek for good measure, which she seemed to enjoy as she giggled. Eventually, we break our embraces and wave goodbye to each other as we head back to our respective houses. I watch Sayori disappear from sight as I turn the key to open the door and head upstairs to my room. After finishing my nightly routine and finish my outstanding homework, I lay back in my bed and prepare to fall asleep. All things considered, today was a pretty good day. Monika gave me some helpful advice regarding my situation, and I had a pretty good time with Sayori. We actually went on our first real date since we've been officially together. It was nice, though, and I'm glad I took her up on the offer to go out. In a way, it did help settle my feelings a little bit. I do truly love her, and I really wouldn't want to ruin it, and I'd say I'd been pretty faithful to our relationship. Still, I had to figure out what to say to Natsuki. I don't really feel any closer to figuring out what I have to say to her. But I'll worry more about it tomorrow. I should just try to get some good night's sleep for once. Hopefully, I don't have another horrific dream. Don't jinx it. I shut my eyes and I uneasily drift off to sleep, praying for nothing to happen. You just don't listen, do you? You see, it didn't work. See, you knew it was gonna happen. It was the dream. These dreams are bound to happen. You know it. The same familiar voice angrily screams, making my ears sting in agony. I try to move to cover my ears, but my arms remained locked by my sides, forcing me to simply just wince in pain. I guess I stand corrected. I just don't know what's with you. I don't understand why you continue to pursue the most hopeless of us all. Sayori is a lost cause. It's not worth spending your precious time and energy into someone like her. Sure, you might cheer her up for the time being, but she'll fall back into her same self-destructive mindset. You know how much she hates herself. Sayori would kill herself without a second thought, regardless of how much love you give her. Do you really want a girl like that? She's not worth it. She truly is selfish. She admits it too. So why do you waste more time with her? Just to cheer her up for a few hours? The price of doing so is death. If she ever finds the truth about this place, she won't just be killing herself. She'll kill everyone, including you. It's time for you to see that. I'm immediately jolted. Okay, I think this is the next daytime. I think this is daytime. I think it's daytime. But for some reason we're outside. I'm immediately jolted awake. This can't be the day, right? This can't actually be the day. This is still the dream, right? However, instead of finding myself laying on the bed, I find myself standing on the sidewalk by Sayori's house in school uniform. This is definitely still a dream. But Sayori is oddly enough in her pajamas, red-faced with tears streaming down her cheeks. What did I just find myself in? So, that's why I'm not coming to school, Devin. I'm not really feeling like myself today. Wait. Is this actually? I blink a few times to look and confirm I'm really outside. How the hell did I get here? I was just in bed. Granted, I was dealing with the voice tormenting me. I guess it was just me waking up and getting ready. Did you get that, Devin? I try to go along with it. Is this actually day? Yeah. I understand, Sayori. Everyone needs to take a day to themselves once in a while. I'm sure everyone will understand. Somehow, I doubt that. They're just gonna worry about me, Devin. They don't know what I'm going through. I really don't want you to cover for me. I feel so guilty for having you lie for me. Well, that's what a good boyfriend does, right? Yeah. You know, I'm surprised you're taking this so well. I thought you'd be offering to stay with me, given some things I just told you. You want to tell me those again? She's got me in a trap here. How am I supposed to keep this up? I mean, I am worried about you. I always have been. But you wanted me to tell everyone that you're not feeling good, right? I didn't say that. Devin? Were you listening to anything I was saying? Of course I was! Totally! I just bumped my microphone, I'm sorry. I can't believe I'm lying to Sayori's face in the middle of her meltdown. This isn't good. I'm just out of it, okay? You were completely fine this morning. Was I now? You even told me that you were willing to meet up with me so early. I did? I look at my watch. 6:45. Then look up at the sky to see the sky just turned fully blue. I never get up this early on a school day. What the hell is happening? I turn back to face Sayori, who's now angrily staring me down. You weren't listening to anything I said. You ignored me. After you promised that you wouldn't. Sayori, no need to apologize. I'm used to having everyone being ignorant about how I really feel inside. And how are you feeling on the inside? Like I want to die. Sayori's sudden yelling, I gotta keep going with this, right? Sayori's sudden, I can't just stop it here because, like, now I'm kind of in this, you know? I'm kind of in the moment. You can't just end in the middle of this, you know what I mean? Sayori's sudden yelling jars me backwards. I never heard her raise her voice in such a frightening tone. You don't really care about me. You're only dating me to fill your life with some sick pleasure, isn't it? Sayori, that's not true and you know it. I know that I've been failing you for all these years, and I've been doing my best to make up for it. And I know I need to do more, but I care about you. I always have and always will. You're just saying that to try and make me feel better. It won't work this time, Devin. I think I finally had enough of it all. What are you saying? Don't worry about it. I wouldn't want to ruin everyone's day. That would just be selfish. Sayori lets out an uncomfortable laugh as that only adds on to the already tense atmosphere. I'm sorry I dragged you out here for nothing. You won't have to worry about me anymore. I think I served my purpose. I can't keep you guys happy forever if I keep feeling hopeless. So the solution is obvious. Goodbye, Devin. Before I can open my mouth, Sayori wordlessly walks back to her house. What the hell was that? Why would she jump into conclusions like that? Did she really tell me something that important? How could I have missed that? Nothing about the situation feels right. Is Sayori really going to... No. No. She couldn't. I quickly run into Sayori's house, using the key under her mat to let myself in. I run up the stairs to Sayori's room, where it seems to be closed shut. I frantically knock on Sayori's door. Sayori, are you in there? I knock on the door again. Sayori! I press my ear to the door to see if she's already really in there. I can't hear anything. Yep. What the hell is she doing? Sayori, are you okay? Not waiting for the answer, I throw the door open. And there she is. I still don't know if this is real. I still don't know if this is real or not. I scream in horror and disgust as I fall back on the floor in shock. Sayori? Sayori's gazeless eyes stare blankly at me. She slowly swings from side to side. No, I was too late. I completely fucked up. Tears fill my eyes as I pound on the floor, screaming in anguish. Why did she do this? What happened? She hasn't been this bad since Sunday. What did I do wrong? I should have spent more time with her. I should have told her how much she meant to me. And now I'm never going to get another chance. I curl up on the floor and start sobbing. Through my sobs, my mind tries to come up with some sort of scenario for how she could possibly be alive right now. Maybe I'm still dreaming. Maybe she's still alive. I quickly throw open Sayori's drawers. There has to be something to cut her down. Come on. Through my frantic searching, I finally find a box cutter. This should do. I quickly run up to Sayori. I get up from under her so her feet are resting along my shoulders. I stretch out my arm and as far as I can, and I start cutting with the rope. Almost got it. As soon as the rope snaps, Sayori and I fall right onto the floor. I roll over and face Sayori, who's laying stiffly on the floor. I quickly loosen the noose as best as I can. Sayori? I gently shake her body a few times. Sayori, can you hear me? She doesn't respond. No. Why would she do this? I try to check her pulse, but I don't feel anything. She can't be gone. No, she can't be. Tears are flooding down my face as I cradle Sayori's lifeless body in my arms. This is my fault. If I had just paid more attention, if I had just listened, then she wouldn't have snapped like this. I'm a failure. No, I'm not letting you die. I lay Sayori on the floor and begin CPR. Suddenly, I begin to hear an ungodly groan emitting from Sayori's mouth. Sayori? Sayori's eyes roll towards me. Just let me die. Okay. Sayori pushes me off of her, causing me to stumble back. She stands herself up, not breaking her menacing stare. That's a very creepy stare. Sayori? You're alive? I feel a mix of emotions course through me as I try to hug Sayori, but her stare stops me cold. Why did you come here? Why couldn't you let me rest in peace? Why do you continue to torment me by letting me live? Sayori, what are you talking about? I was worried about you. That's why I came. I didn't want you to do what you just did. So now you care, huh? After ignoring me for a year, you finally decide I'm worth your time? Nothing you've done can make me forgive you. Sayori, what the hell are you even talking about? I know I haven't been perfect, but nothing. You ignored me for an entire year, while I was dealing with my soul splitting in two. Do you know how awful you made me feel over the last year, Devin? Awful enough to where I wanted to hang myself, and you made me do it. You pushed me beyond my breaking point. I know your affection for me was fake. Nothing is real. Existence is pain. Sayori let out a raspy that word laugh. I slowly start backing my way to the exit. I see that you need some time alone, Sayori. Oh, no, no, no. Sayori quiets her voice to an eerie whisper that I can barely hear. No, no, Devin, don't leave. You said you wanted to spend time with me. No time like the present, right? I'm gonna be late to school. Forget school. They never taught us anything useful anyway. This can't be day. This is a dream. This is definitely this has gotta be a dream. It's all an elaborate game, Devin. You and this world have played me for so long, using my kindness to make you feel good about yourself. But I figured out how to beat it. It was so easy. She's completely lost it. I try to outrun her, but Sayori would probably catch up to me long before I make it to school. But if I can make it to the neighbor's house... How did you beat it, Sayori? At this point, I'm trying to do everything I can to make sure Sayori doesn't attack me. Do you really want to know? This is definitely a dream. I don't think you care enough, Devin, considering how you let someone you've known forever just hang herself. I'm sorry, Sayori. Please tell me. Come over here then, and I'll tell you. I'm so racked with anxiety, and it feels like my heart's about to explode. My vision starts to become blurry as Sayori continues to stare me down. The more I stare back at her, the more lightheaded I feel. What's happening? Don't tell me about to pass out in a time like this. I don't feel so good, Sayori. Just tell me. Sayori giggles. Okay, here's how you beat the game, Devin. Sayori pauses dramatically as I both anxiously eye her in the exit, trying to determine when I should try to book it. Kill yourself. What? Come again? Kill yourself. What the hell is she talking about? Kill yourself. Kill yourself. Kill yourself. Kill yourself. Yep, that's just gonna say this over and over. Sayori starts repeating the same thing over and over again, growling louder each time. I start making movements to run for the exit. Sayori suddenly stops her chant and stares right at me. Kill yourself. Definitely a dream. I slowly open my eyes. I still don't know if this is a dream or not. Oh my jeez. I legit, you know what? No, screw it. We're out of that moment. Let's save it there. I'm gonna assume that's the real daytime. I'm gonna assume that daytime's real. And I'm going to go ahead and save it right there. Oh my god, an hour and a half. An hour and a half for a video. That's a long day. That's like the longest day I've ever had in a mod. But this mod is going places. Holy crap. It's very good. I love it. I love it so much. It's the reason why I stuck around for the full release, because of the fact that, you know, I played the demo over a year ago and I really wanted to see the full version of it. So, and now we're playing it, and now that I don't remember exactly what happened in the demo, it's kind of like I'm reacting all over again. I genuinely do not remember any of what just happened. And I don't even know if this is still a dream or not. But I am going to leave it here. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, smash that like button. Subscribe here if you're new. I'd love an addition to the channel. Guys, I got a Discord. Come check me out at Saudi YouTube. It's going to be a fun time for all. Hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did making it. Hope you guys in my next one. Goodbye.